안녕하세요. Hello, I'm going to lay over in Seoul, South Korea and make the most of it by taking a free tour to see its beautiful main royal palace, the most historical important Buddhist temples, and many of Seoul's iconic landmarks. Not to forget, getting a taste of real Korean cuisine. All free, all done under 10 hours. Welcome to Incheon International Airport, the main airport serving the Seoul capital area, the capital of Republic of Korea and the center of Korean politics, arts and culture, and financial center. Today it is ranked as the 5th largest metropolitan area in the world with a population of 25 million. So let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to North Korea. I'm just joking. Welcome to South Korea. And we just landed at Incheon Airport. It's almost midnight because of the delay. Let's hope the immigration process will be smooth and fast. If you arrive at night and short in cash for a hotel, don't worry, I got you covered. Normally, they don't like you to sleep in airport, but Incheon, look at that. I mean, there's just people sleeping here and it's like 1 in the morning right now, and it's nice and cold, homey. I don't even think I need lounge access to survive Incheon layovers, but I do have access, so let's get going. There's even a shower for the transit visitors if you arrive during the day. But if you got some extra cash, you can visit the 24-hour Skyhop Lounge in Terminal 1 to grab some food and drinks. After getting my first taste of sleeping in the airport, let's figure out what to do. Seoul is extremely cold during the winter, so if you don't bring enough clothing during that period, there's quite a lot of free indoor activities in the airport. But I'm adventurous, so here's my plan. Now today we're going to do things very differently in this episode of DIY Layovers. And I'm not a big fan of organized tours, unless it is free, which is the case here in Incheon Airport. And they promise to take me back in time for my flight out. So we're gonna go to 2 tours back to back. There's many tours available, and depending on the season, the morning tour I pick is the most popular, Gyeongbokgung Palace, with an optional $10 lunch, all in 5 hours. The best of all, they accept the good old US dollars, so no ATM visit needed. This is our group. It's actually a really big group. It's roughly about 20 people, and the bus is waiting for us right now, and the tour guide is leading us to it. Gate 14, as far as I know. Right now they are going to the second terminal to pick up more gas. And then we are going to head over down to Seoul to start our tour. Altogether 5 hours. Within an hour, we arrive at our destination. The Gyeongbokgung Palace is the main royal palace of the Joseon dynasty, built in 1395, the largest of the 5 grand palaces built during that dynasty, and served as the home and household of the kings of the Joseon dynasty, as well as the seat of the government. The reason there's Chinese character on this building is because these palaces actually built before Koreans developed their own character. Gyeongbokgung remained the main palace of the Joseon dynasty until the premise was destroyed by fire in the Ming War of 1592 to 1598 and was abandoned for 2 centuries. However, in the 19th century, all the palace's 7,700 rooms was later restored under the leadership of Prince Richard Hanson during the reign of King Gyeongbokgung. Some 500 buildings was restored on the site of the 40 hectares. The architectural principle of the ancient Korea was incorporated into the tradition and the appearance of the Joseon royal court. So right now we're seeing something similar to the changing of the guard, and every single hour, I In the early 20th century, much of the palace was systematically destroyed by the Imperial Japan. Since then, the walled palace complex is gradually being restored to its original form. Today, the palace is arguably regarded as being the most beautiful and the grandest of all 5 palaces. It also houses the National Palace Museum of Korea and the National Folk Museum of Korea. The National Palace Museum of Korea first began as a Korean Imperial Museum, which was established in 1908. Today, the museum houses over 40,000 artifacts and royal treasures from the palace of Joseon Dynasty and the Korean Empire, of which 14 are national treasure of South Korea. The National Folk Museum of Korea is also located in the palace. However, since our visit here is short, there's no time to check it out. Yikes. So one person almost missed the bus, and which is not good. Don't be late because the taxis are like 70 to like 100 US. So right now we are heading off to lunch, and it's about 5 minutes walk from the parking. And it's pre-ordered already, the meal, and let's see what we have in store. So, I'm not too sure what we're going to be finding, but it looks nice. The Korean cuisine is typically served with small side dishes along with cooked rice. They are so cute and delicious too. So our meal is going to start really soon. Everyone's going to get their own meal, other than the small dishes we all have to share.
Thank you so much.
We will be having beef bulgogi right now, and I hope this tastes good. It looks decent, by the way. Bulgogi literally means fire meat, a marinated slice of beef or pork grilled on a barbecue or stir fry in a pan. Sirloin, ribeye, or brisket are often used. After getting fat, it's time to head back to the airport, and this is the end of the first tour. So the first tour came back around 12:17 rather than 1 p.m. so ahead of our schedule. It's really actually a rush in every place we go to, including the palace and also the meal. It's actually pretty perfect for people who's really in a tight time frame for the transit flight. If you got more time, you should do it on your own. If you want to do tours on your own, there's frequent buses and rail to the city center. And from the city center, there's multiple shuttle buses that will take you to popular tour sites for $10. But let's get back to our next tour.
226. Probably we can back to the airport if something.
For the second tour, I picked the Stream and Jogyesa Temple. The bus took about an hour and dropped us off at one of Seoul's most famous landmarks. We are here in downtown Seoul, and this is the first part of the second tour. It's called the Stream. Cheonggyecheon is a 1 kilometer modern public recreational space in downtown Seoul. It's commonly referred to as the Stream, as it is the first refurbishment project to construct a drainage system during the Joseon dynasty. The man-made creek flows west to east through downtown Seoul, and which connects Han River and empties into the Yellow Sea. I thought, Canada's cold, but boy, Seoul is really cold, and I really recommend if you're gonna do a stopover, try to do it in the summer, please. It's really cold here, but at least we get to see some of the famous landmarks. Just a few minutes on foot is Gwanghwamun Plaza, a public open space historically significant as the location of loyal administrative buildings, known as the Street of the Six Ministries, as well as a feature of a statue of Admiral Yi Sun-sin of the Joseon dynasty, a Korean naval commander famed for his victory against the Japanese Navy during the Incheon War. Our final stop of the tour is Jogyesa Temple, one of the ancient temples in the downtown Seoul. This is one of the most important temples here in South Korea. It was built in 1395. Now, most of the buildings that you see is not original because it was burnt down. And this is all rebuilt. In fact, some of the buildings surrounding it, the modern buildings, was originally part of the original structure. So let's go and take a look. The modern temple was founded in 1910 and initially called Gwanghwamun. During the Japanese colonial invasion of 1910 to 1945, the temple emerged as a resistance to Japanese effort to suppress Korean Buddhism. The main Buddha's hall was constructed in 1938 of pine wood from Bhikkhu Mountain, and is always filled with sound-out chanting. If you got more time, you can sign up for our temple stay program, allowing you to experience the life of Buddha's practitioners and also learn about the cultural knowledge transmitted through the Korean Buddhist history. With that being done, the bus takes us directly back to the airport. If you are doing a tour on your own with a bus or a train, make sure to head back no less than 3 hours prior to your flight. With that being said, have an amazing and safe layover here in Seoul. See you next time. Annyeong.